let's hop into this then. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to episode 44.
What?
I don't know if a lot of things are going to change on the podcast, but
48.
It's going to be
44.
better. What?
48, not 44.
I said 48, didn't I?
No, you definitely said 44. But
Weird.
that's okay though.
We'll check the tape.
Clip it.
Run it back.
Check the tape.
Clip it.
But yeah, no, this is episode 48. We only missed a total of 5 episodes last year, which, I mean, whatever. People can hate us for that. But yeah, start of the new year's, new betting slate. Shout out to Cade by winning by 1.
Hey, listen, we take every win is like a small battle in the war, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I just have to say that I just came out on top. It is what it is.
I mean, you did. You're right.
I mean, did I absolutely start to purposely fade and bet with Cal to just have to go 1-0 other than him every week to try to win? Absolutely. But that wasn't against the rules. Win's a win.
That's fair. But yeah, with that being said, how was everyone's New Year's? I mean, it's been, 2 weeks?
Christmas.
Going
Christmas
on 3
too.
weeks since we last recorded, so...
Yeah, the whole holiday season.
Everything was good, man.
It was the worst couple weeks of my life.
Really fast.
It was the worst couple weeks of my life.
Well, yeah, I mean, you did get basically Lyme's disease, so there's that.
I'll say it as quick as possible for our freaking viewers. I almost died. Not literally, but felt like. Legitimately, the week of Christmas, started getting chills and cold sweats, and my body couldn't move for like 4 or 5 days. I couldn't get out of bed physically. And then went to the doctors, found out I had a tick-borne illness called acinoplasmosis, and I got medicine, and it still took me 3 days after that to feel better. So I rocked a 103-degree fever for like literally a calendar week, which was intense. But we're on the up and up.
Doesn't seem fun though.
No, it was awful. It was.
It sounded genuinely horrible.
When I not being dramatic at all. Like, I really mean this. Like, not being dramatic at all. It was by far the worst thing I've experienced in my life. Like, nothing has ever compared to that. And I had COVID, and I had the swine flu. Like, I've had some pretty gnarly things. And nothing even will ever compare to that. Like, I cried. I legitimately cried on Christmas because my whole family, everyone left me. Like, I was by myself, and I couldn't even get out of bed. Like, it was awful. So, I cried.
It was like Home Alone, only you were potentially dying.
You deserve.
Yeah, it was the worst Christmas of my life.
Just, hey, you didn't have any holidays. I mean, you had days off, I'm sure, but didn't feel like it. Just take another vacation, you know?
I did take 2 days of vacation last week to yeah. I did try to work Monday morning, though.
I did not have a tick-borne illness.
The funniest thing I can tell you guys from it, though, because honestly, like, you guys we all like know that, like, we don't give a and we're just here for a good laugh. And my realization of, like, wow, Kate, you're really messed up. Like, you should probably go to the doctor. Was Monday morning. I woke up with a 103-degree temperature, but I thought, you know what? Let's clock in for work. Maybe we'll be able to grind through it. And I literally passed out an hour and a half into work on my mom's kitchen table. I woke up because I had my hand on my head, fell asleep, and then when I woke up, I hit my head off the table. Yeah, but
now listen. The one thing is he only clocked in for work because he didn't have vacation days yet. He's still within his 90 days.
That's true. I was within my 90 days, but they ended up giving me my vacation anyway. So
yeah,
totally understandable. But yeah, no, I mean I think there's a global pandemic that's still occurring that kind of gets you out of that, even if it's not that.
Agreed. So
work from home though, they're not as lenient.
It's different.
Totally understandable. Totally understandable.
But this is where it got dark. So I let the dogs out at 9, and I fed them at 9, but we put them in separate rooms, so, like, obviously they, like, eat and everything's fine. There's 400 pounds of dogs in my parents' house that day, between 5 dogs, 400 pounds. I didn't realize that there were dogs, not dogs, running around my mom's house, and they were locked in those rooms for 6 hours until I got back from the hospital. And then when I got back from the hospital, I kind of had, like, my wits about me, and no dogs were standing in my parents' dog pen. And I'm like, where the hell are the dogs? I walked in, and they're all just banging doors. So just to go to show you like how out of it was, that there was literally. I mean, you guys have all been to my house when all those dogs are there. Like, it's a madhouse. And I didn't even know it. Did not even recognize that something like that was happening.
Damn near brain damage. I mean, really, if you have I don't know what, I'm not a doctor, obviously, but.
No, you can get brain damage if you go too long with a fever. Yeah.
If it's sustained at 103 or higher, yeah.
Yeah, for like a long time, yeah. I mean, they did tell me that I can die. I could.
Anyways.
They did tell me I could die from what was happening to me if I didn't seek treatment, like, over time. Like, it's not going to kill me, like, and, like, I wasn't, like life-threatening at any point, but, like, if you were just, like, to say, it, I'm not getting any treatment, like, you would die, because your liver would shut down. That's the first thing it goes. So, you'll just die of liver failure and not even know it.
Damn.
So, it was intense. I mean, it definitely was. And I'm not being dramatic at all. It was definitely a wild event. But, hey, I went to Florida. That's the thing that's a little crazy. I don't know how I swung that one, but that was just my family's doing. Played golf literally the next day after having a 103-degree temperature.
I mean, you always grinding, dude. I mean,
never stop.
No.
I said to Cal and Dad, I was like, you guys know I really love to play golf when I'm literally out here.
What course did you play that day?
White Herring.
Never heard of that one.
White Herring Golf Club.
Top 3 worst greens I've played in my life.
That's okay.
Rough.
But yeah, there's our medical segment. So shout out us for being topical, even though it's not that one.
It's the second year in a row, though. Someone on this podcast got messed up medically, though. Cal and Evan had COVID last year, pretty rough. I mean, I had it for a hot minute, but like then this year, it's back-to-back years.
I honestly don't know if I've had it or not.
Yep. Shout out Billy, who's had it more times than anybody in the United States.
Yeah, Billy's immune system's undefeated, though. Shout
it
out
is.
Walt.
He's he's like the lizard off of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man now. He just keeps mutating. How good was that movie, by the way, Ty?
Spoiler?
No spoilers. But yeah, no. 3 is phenomenal.
Listen, it's almost been out for a month, guys. If you haven't seen it,
No Way Home is a really, really good movie. You should definitely check it.
Spoiler.
Get cultured.
And it goes spoiler.
And the lizards.
On TikTok or anything at all? Nothing's been spoiled for you?
Mm-mm.
Are you serious?
How about you get with it and get cultured?
That's pretty impressive. Ty, what would you rate it?
His TikTok is just a bunch of girls dancing.
Like, would you rank it like up there in that top 3 conversation?
Out of all the Marvel movies,
don't count the Avengers movies because they're in a different category.
Oh, if we're like talking Guardians, like Captain America,
you're talking the individual solo movies.
Yeah, I'd probably put it top 3.
Yeah, I would. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's definitely top 3.
Guardians 1 is still probably my favorite independent Avengers movie.
I think Captain America is my number 1. Captain America 1 is my favorite.
Then Thor Ragnarok's probably 2, and I'd probably put Spider-Man 3 or switch those 2.
Yeah, Ragnarok's funny.
Ragnarok is such a good movie.
It's funny as hell too.
Another movie that people don't really rank high, and I don't know why.
I haven't seen Shang-Chi either, so
is Doctor Strange.
I love that.
I love no, that's a top 5 for me. I love
that
Strange,
movie
dude.
is so
I can't
good.
wait for the next one, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, it looks good.
I need to watch Loki though because that has to do with the multiverse. So it's just
I need to watch Hawkeye.
Yeah, I'll get around to it.
I need to watch Hawkeye.
Yeah. Anything else? Anybody? I mean, I didn't really do much. I just kind of hung out with a lady. So that was literally my.
Played 4 rounds of golf in 7 days last week, which is fun. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, not a whole lot. Almost got to go to I can't remember what bowl game it was, but a bowl game down in Florida. It was Clemson versus Iowa State, but I can't remember what the actual game was. But we were too late on the tickets, but we almost went to it, which would have been fun. But yeah, nothing crazy other than just like on vacation and
holiday stuff, yeah.
But
yeah, driving back wasn't too bad.
We got lucky because we left at the right time. Because I don't know if you guys saw the whole Virginia and
yeah, Billy got
stuff
to
like
work that day.
Well, no, but like people have been stranded on the highway on 95.
95,
yeah.
95 has been shut down for
2 days.
2 days, and people were
hours,
stuck in their
last time I
cars.
saw.
So
my state was on fire, and we had hurricane level winds here.
And then you had
that was
snow.
crazy.
Yeah,
And then you get snow the next day.
So I was 6 miles away from the evacuation area. That's a real thing. The winds were anywhere from 80 to 115 miles an hour where I live. And what was the other thing? We got a foot of snow the day later, and it was negative.
Yeah, Colorado is by far the most bipolar state for weather.
That's a movie.
Yeah, no.
That's like the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, and then we have Yellowstone.
Great movie, by the way.
That's
an all-timer. That's an all-timer for me, by the way.
It is a
all-timer.
What was the other
Evan, if you've never seen The Day After Tomorrow, it's literally been out for almost 20 years now.
Yeah, I think it has been out for 20 years.
Yeah, that movie, I watched it.
Talk about Jake Gyllenhaal at his finest.
I don't know about at his finest because...
that was him.
Are we going to ignore Brokeback Mountain? That's his best performance.
Brokeback Mountain's good.
Time.
He's
right around that same time.
Nightcrawler's a top tier one. Him as Mysterio is phenomenal. I mean...
Rey Mysterio?
No.
All right.
Cal, what do you got? We haven't had one of these in a while. I hope we're starting off the new year with a bang here.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of, because of work and stuff, I kind of forgot, about my question, but I have one.
Okay.
I had to come up with one quickly.
Down
so this is might not be a great one, but it's something to think about. I guess.
The year one step back. That's terrible.
Set the bar low. That's all for the people.
If you could, no, I'm not saying could. If you have to sell one body part of yours on the black market, what body part would it be?
Whatever body part, whatever organ that keeps me living that could go for the highest
organ.
price.
Not an organ.
Whatever body part.
Actual.
Yeah, like a body part of yours.
I'd give up an ear.
I was going to say, I mean, I can still hear, right?
I'm definitely giving up. You give up. You still have your other one. You just only have to give up one.
If I have to sell one, it's so tough. I have to weigh my options. I have to see what the prices are.
Listen,
I'm
gonna keep it I'm gonna keep it a buck. I have just a magnificent calf that I feel like I could get good money for. I think my calf,
I do know a person that doesn't have a calf because it was blown off when he got electrocuted.
My knee down, I think I could get good money for. Knee down, because
you're rocking the prosthetic for the rest of your life, Cal.
Dude, for the right price, bro.
No, you can still have your bone. You just get rid of the muscle.
Yeah.
I would cut off a foot.
Yes, you can. Did you not hear what I just said?
No.
I know a guy that got electrocuted, by a lightning bolt, and his leg, because it was grounded, blew up, and he still has his bone, can walk and everything. He just has zero calf muscle.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
He doesn't walk with a limp or anything.
I also feel like I got a solid knee. I was
gonna say kneecap.
Solid knee. I don't know.
I mean, realistically, I don't need a bicep.
You could throw away one of your fingers too. Honestly,
my left bicep isn't really doing anything for me, so probably get rid of that. It's the right one that has all of the hard work.
Yeah, 100%. No.
I mean, my grandfather for the last 7 years of his life, literally his bicep disconnected from his elbow, so it was up here the whole time. He had no function over it. So bicep, we'll go with that.
I would sell my foot because you can get prosthetic feet easy.
It'd be weird not touching the ground though, man.
I understand that, but I could do everything I like to do.
Oh, wisdom teeth. I'll do my wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
I already don't have them, so. Yeah.
I still have one. I only had one, and I still have it.
If it's a single body part, just take a tooth out of my head, but.
I don't think teeth count. I think it's got to be a body part, as in exterior.
Just give me a lobotomy. Take my brain. Fuck it.
I mean, the right answer is testicle, because they're probably you got two of them for one.
Well, I was gonna say when you said body part, I was like, I only need one kidney, so just take one of my kidneys.
Yeah, the thing that I saw said
organ. It said no organs.
Yeah, they said no organs.
Yeah,
they said because organs that's what it is. If the story.
Someone want to take these sons of bitches or no?
Yeah, you can't take
your
away.
leg. Your
honestly, Ty, if you were mangled in a severe accident, that's how you're going to get.
No, if I'm ever
identified.
missing, this is one of my identifiers.
Yeah, 100%.
He has the 3 biggest moles I've ever seen.
The Bermuda Triangle, bro.
And it's like a perfect isosceles triangle.
No, it's like an acute triangle. It's literally perfect. It's great.
It's
But all right, boys, we good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna turn this over to the 2 Steelers fans. Hence why I have this back here. Big Ben potentially just played his last game ever at Heinz. We don't know; it's not confirmed, but all ideas lead to this being his last game at Heinz. You guys want to take a second and say anything, or we want to talk about the game?
First off, there's a very good chance that even if he does play next year, that it's going to be his last game at Heinz because Heinz Field might not be Heinz Field next year.
Correct. The naming rights are up. Yeah.
So if he goes out and Heinz Field goes out at the same time, it kind of be fitting. But overall, for the most part, I mean, I think, he didn't play his best. He broke an NFL record last night. With the most attempts with the least amount of yards.
oh my God. I hate how you said that he broke a record and then that's the
record.
No,
Evan and I were talking at one point, and he had 40 attempts for 96 yards.
Him and Baker Mayfield also broke a combined record with the most combined attempts in the least amount of yards.
By the way, just a comment on Baker. Baker was the only player in the NFL this year to have 10 straight incompletions.
No. Ever, Cade.
Ever. Oh, I thought that was just this year.
Ever. We're on Ben. We'll get to that, though.
I didn't know that. I was just commenting on it because I saw it on Twitter this morning.
But it was 18 years of not having to worry about a quarterback, to watching a legend play. It's going to be completely – I don't know how it's going to be next year. I've never – at my adult life, I've never had to worry other than injury-wise of who's going to be under center the following year or the uncertainty. So definitely going to be different. Shout out to Big Ben. He was the first jersey I ever had. Probably couldn't even go over my one shoulder blade now if I still had it. He's an all-timer.
It hasn't even really sunk in for me yet, and probably until next season when I see somebody different under center
100%
permanently. When we had Duck Hodges or Mason Rudolph or looking back, Charlie Batch. We all knew that Ben was going to be back, right? But this time he's not, and it's just going to be, it'll be tough next year. Obviously, if somebody comes in and is super good, that's going to kind of put a quick Band-Aid on that feeling. But, if we have some struggles a couple years, like, teams do, it's going to be tough. And, but it's for the better. I'm pretty sure I'm documented saying that I wanted Ben to retire last year. So it was good. We kind of gave him his little farewell tour, and he got a win versus the Browns in his last game ever. At Heinz. So
14-0 at Heinz against
the Browns. Thank you, 7.
His record against the
26 2-1.
That's just stupid.
And they want to call it a rivalry.
26 3-1.
I was going to say I saw something different
yesterday.
Yeah. But regardless, he only lost to the Browns 3 times and tied them once, and
never lost at home. Never lost.
I was going to say he never lost it
in regular
season. We literally own the Browns when Ben's under center. So,
I
call it a rivalry if you want.
Even though he didn't play his best last night, I don't think I've ever seen a Pittsburgh Steelers team play the way they played for someone ever. They play. Every single person stepped up to max last night, to their defense. To Claypool still had his issues. He's Claypool, but the offensive line, Najee Harris, the offensive line, he barely got touched. If they play with that energy every single game, we're a Super Bowl team, But it's. I'm glad he got to go out with a win. And the way he did it, got to go. He went and literally high-fived every fan that he could around that stadium. His family was there. Yeah, it was that. I almost feel like the NFL scripted when Najee Harris busted that touchdown, and then he wasn't going to get his victory formation, and then Baker threw that interception, so he got a final 10 seconds to be able to do his victory formation. Was pretty wild.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But yeah,
DC Tomlin tried to call timeout with 2 seconds left.
Yeah, he wanted to try to give him another one, but I mean, you saw him like that play. He like stayed on the ground for like a solid like 10 seconds.
Derek Watt was trying to lift him up, and Ben was just like, no.
Yeah. It's definitely a surreal feeling. We'll see. It definitely would have been better if our last game would have been the home game. It's like, yeah, cool.
Pittsburgh would have fallen into the river, dude.
We still got next week against the Ravens with a long shot to get the playoffs, but I don't want us to make. I told Cade last night, I'm like, I don't want us to make the playoffs. I don't want to have a chance. Right. Well, yeah, but I don't want him. I don't want him to chance him to have like a game like he did against the Cleveland last year in the playoffs. Like I wanted just to sign it out. We're starting fresh next year to see who we have at quarterback. And
it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Jaguars to beat the Colts. So
they've won 6 times in a row.
I hope we get the dub versus the Ravens next week. I don't know if Lamar Jackson's playing or not, but
that's up in the air still.
And if we make the playoffs, that's great. But I think
the only thing is, you guys would be playing either the Chiefs or potentially the Bengals, depending on how it works out. But the Bengals can still get the first seed. So can the Chiefs, so it just all depends on how they fall. But yeah, if you guys got in, it'd be the Chiefs, Bengals, or Titans.
Yeah.
Which,
I mean, we already beat the Titans.
I don't mind playing the Bengals or the Titans. Yeah,
the Bengals,
but the Chiefs,
and Kansas City both blew Pittsburgh out last time they played.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, Derrick Henry is going to start practicing again. So again, the Titans are the first seed right now, and they've done this without Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is starting to practice again this week.
Yep. If the Steelers play against an offense in the first round that they're going to score close to 30 points,
30 or
Pittsburgh
more,
won't get blown out because Pittsburgh cannot score 30 points.
See, the thing is, what I thought the biggest tragedy for Cleveland last night, and I honestly think that the loss has to go all on Kevin Stefanski or whoever calls the offensive plays.
It's Stefanski.
Yeah, Stefanski.
How do you only run the ball with your best player 12 times versus the worst rushing defender or defending team in the league? The
Steelers can't stop the run. They're just really good at getting the quarterback.
Right. I will never understand why they didn't run the ball at least 20 times with Nick Chubb. And that's why they lost the game.
Well, and it's not just that. Dearness Johnson isn't a bad runner either, but it doesn't matter when you have Baker running out doing bootlegs to the left where he has to throw against his body and his arm is broken on the left side. It doesn't make sense from
why are you throwing the ball?
It's not like they were playing from behind multiple scores the entire game too.
No, they could run the ball, but really whatever, other than the last drive.
Yeah,
they could have run the ball from the jump, and they didn't, and that's why they lost the game.
I genuinely don't understand what the game plan was for last night, and it's nothing against the Steelers. It's just if you're the Browns, that's not your game plan against any team.
No.
So I don't understand what it was. Baker's already been told you're sitting the down, you're getting surgery in case Keenum's playing this week 18 against the Bengals.
Yeah,
but again, the Bengals don't have a ton to play for. They technically can sit the
starters.
So
Baker's not playing.
No, Baker's getting surgery this week.
So I think there's a very highly chance of the last time we see Baker in a Browns uniform playing.
The thing is, I don't think so. But again, I can't argue it. This was
so hard. It's so hard for me.
Horrible season for Baker.
I would say it's 50-50. I would not say anything. I would not say that Baker Mayfield has more than a 50% chance of being a Cleveland Brown.
I agree with that. I think it's 50-50 too. And what's the cap situation there? Does anyone know?
They're fine.
Can they sign any veteran quarterback like a Russ or
they can? Yes. Yeah, they could f*** around and do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
but I don't think they have.
Russ,
the problem is, I don't think they have a ton of money to be able to sign back Denzel Ward and Nick Chubb as a contract, all those kind of things. I don't know if they have that much money.
Nick Chubb is going to get franchise tagged. I will almost guarantee that. Just I almost expect Baker to.
To me, it's just talking about Cleveland just because we're on the kind of the subject. Obviously, they're the most disappointing team in the NFL this year. I don't think anyone would argue that.
I'd put the Vikings up there, dude. The Vikings are insanely talented.
That's fine. You could put the Vikings in there too, but the Browns were predicted to win the AFC North, and they're finishing last.
They were predicted like 12 wins.
Yeah, they were predicted. Their like over under for wins was like 11.
Yeah,
and they're not even gonna get 9. So
no,
what I'm
they
saying
can't.
is,
they're
like,
7-9 right now.
Right. So what I'm saying is like they're definitely in my opinion the biggest disappointment because I don't think anyone thought the Vikings were like NFC contenders by any means. I think a lot of people going into the season. Dude, Ty, NFC contenders. You're talking they were
no.
With Jefferson, Thielen, Cooks, and Cousins.
No, but you're okay. But you're gonna. I'm talking about against their competition. Do you think that the Vikings were in the conversation?
They weren't going to win the division.
I think. They're an argument to beat the Packers every year. I mean, I think the Vikings are.
That's your Twitter feed of Viking fans, though, bro. Like that's not. Because like the
divisional game,
Vikings fans.
I was gonna say, I don't think Ty follows anybody from Minnesota.
The NFL, like if we were to go back and look at projected wins, like I'm not
going to argue that. I think the Browns were projected to have more wins than the Vikings. Yeah,
they literally had. No. They had it like in the hierarchy.
Like
in the hierarchy
this year, that the Browns going into the season were probably a top 3 to top 4 AFC champ. Like
they were in the
hierarchy, in the top
absolutely,
5
yeah.
of the AFC. Yes.
Yeah, in the hierarchy,
the Vikings were not in that conversation. Is what I'm saying.
They had the Bills,
Probably
Chiefs, and Browns. Yeah. That was definitely the hierarchy going into the
Bills, Chiefs, Browns.
Yeah.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that
Titans are probably next after that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like 2 out of the last 3 years, the Browns have had serious hype. I know they were riddled with injuries, but every year teams are riddled with injuries and teams still find ways and stuff like that. But like it's just crazy that like the Browns they had it. They literally had a defense who was supposed to be elite and they were not elite this year.
No.
And then they have arguably one of the best offensive line in football going into the season.
That's why I think like Russell Wilson,
a top 5 or 6 running back in the league. They had a pretty decent receiving core, and I would say Baker's a better half quarterback in the NFL. And like it's like bro, like oh my god, like they can't this doesn't fall together for the Browns ever. Like
and what looks to be a very solid coach
second round, and it was great. But like it just doesn't like sometimes you get lucky, right? Like you just get lucky. Like I think the Eagles have gotten lucky a couple times. Like I would say I bet Ty could sit here and say that the Packers have gotten lucky a couple times with a couple wins this year, or just in general.
Us and the Bengals missed 9 consecutive kicks, and they won with like a minute left in overtime.
Freaking AJ Green doesn't turn around on a fade, like just stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm not arguing that for sure.
But that just doesn't happen for Cleveland. Like it's crazy. Like,
doesn't happen for the Lions either.
Yeah, like I watched like because I mean they're on TV. I mean obviously they're on TV every.
Well, you live
week.
on Lake Erie and Cleveland is on Erie, so
but I watched probably realistically 12 Browns games this year, and I swear to God nothing goes their way. Like they I mean they were hurt. Like yeah, every team gets hurt, but like it's just like bro, like it's like Evan. It's like it's either they shoot themselves in the foot by not playing to their strengths, like you're saying, or they just like I mean they got blown out by teams this year too. Like it's just crazy. Such a weird season for them.
No, but the thing is, again, like it would not surprise me if next year, and this is barring who the quarterback is, if the Browns are a 10 or 11 win team next year, because that's how the NFL works.
Well, they also
like
have
that's
it.
just how the NFL
they
works.
Have
like 1 year you have 4 wins, the next year you have 12.
Yep. The Eagles spent $94 million in dead cap money, and they went up 5 wins from last year.
No, I mean that's just it. Like the Packers are the first team in NFL history to win 13 games at least in a season for 3 consecutive years ever. That doesn't happen.
No.
Like again, like shout out to Mike Tomlin. He had 15 straight years, and Ben had 18 straight years of a winning record. Like
that's what I was
that doesn't happen.
I was going to say this about Big Ben, and I kind of forgot because we've talked about other stuff. I will say that. The most impressive thing I've ever heard is the never having a losing season by Big Ben. And the reason why I would say this is the most impressive thing I've ever heard is because even guys like Aaron Rodgers have gone below 500. Peyton Manning has gone below 500. You know, Drew Brees has had many losing seasons. Like Dan Marino lost a lot of seasons. Like you're talking like some of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history had losing seasons, and Ben Roethlisberger is the only guy who didn't. That's
trying
crazy.
to think. Rodgers' full season when he wasn't injured, which technically does
the thing
count.
is, though, is like
They counted that because he's 18.
Yeah.
Because Big Ben was out a whole entire year.
Yeah,
no,
they counted
that's what I'm saying is like, and that's a credit to Tomlin's 15-year run as well.
Crazy.
Like Rodgers and McCarthy had one losing season, and that was his first year under center. I think they were either 7-9 or 8-8. And then, other than that, the only 2 losing seasons they've had in Rodgers' tenure was when he broke his collarbone.
Yep.
And no, again, shout out to the Steelers for never allowing that to happen.
Yep.
Again, like last year, it was a funny haha thing that you guys went 8-8, and I mean, it's impressive regardless. Like everyone that comes after Tomlin, like I get it, I do, but at the same time, like you don't understand what you have until it's gone.
I said to Kate, I'm like, it's
no
the Tomlin thing. The Tomlin thing is that he definitely didn't he underperformed a couple years when we should have had done better.
When you guys had the most explosive offense in the league, I mean,
but at that time we had one of the worst defenses in the league.
Correct.
So there was only a couple times where like the chips hit and that was early on in his career where it was like, yes, you should be there.
That's why the Patriots are bullshit.
Yeah. But that's what makes it so impressive is even when the chips are down, he finds a way to coach the team up to make sure that they don't have a losing season. Like it's unheard of.
I mean, that's the thing. You're at least relevant every year, dude.
Yep.
Like look at Giants fans, Jets fans, Jaguar fans, Lions fans. They will take any ounce of relevance over the absolute shit show that their franchises have been for the last decade at this point.
Yep.
Like you cannot tell me the Giants. Yeah, it's been 10 years since Eli. Everyone shut up. Those teams, they will snip. People are like, oh, the Packers get to the NFC Championship game and lose. Okay, that's great. That's not a dig on me. I get to literally watch meaningful football deep into January every year.
Yep.
And does it suck? Yeah, I punched a hole in my wall last year. It sucks. But that football is meaningful instead of being done by middle of December and having to just be excited about the draft in 8 months.
Yeah, that's how I felt last year with the Eagles. The Eagles have had 3 losing seasons in the last 12 years, and that's good football.
That is great.
Even the year
good football. If you told that to any franchise, they'd be like, "Wow, that's pretty good football." But last year, it was literally Thanksgiving, and I was like, "Well, I'm so ready for this to be done."
Yeah. Even the year that Big Ben a couple years back when he only played 4 games, we played 12 games with Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges as our quarterbacks. We were 1 game away from the playoffs. We were actually 1 play. Juju fumbled the football on the game-winning drive against the Ravens for us making the playoffs. We were 1 play away from making the playoffs.
But that's my thing. Relevance is always. I don't give a shit. I understand draft picks and everything. And again, I am still on the boat of go full tank to get your draft pick and then rebuild or
be really good.
Reload.
Don't win or die.
But mediocrity is one thing, but being relevant is something that you cannot beat in sports. It's just not. You can't.
Especially the NFL.
Yeah,
especially the NFL.
You'd much rather be relevant.
NBA, you can snap your fingers and go from a really good team to a really bad team, or vice versa, so quickly because it takes less players to impact the game. Look at the Bulls. The Bulls went from barely sniffing the playoffs to being the number 1 seed. Just stuff like that can happen.
Off of 2 signings.
Yeah, where football is so much harder.
I'll give Caruso a notable signing.
Yeah,
football is so much harder in that because there's a
and again,
roster.
the Packers right now. The Packers are in cap hell, and they're going to be even if they franchise tag Devontae Adams. Rodgers is still under contract at the end of this year. They will have to trade him if he does want out. But the thing is, all of our players we've drafted. David Bakhtiari, the 2nd highest paid left tackle, drafted him. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Jair Alexander's probably going to get franchise tagged. Devontae Adams, Rodgers. Drafting and staying relevant, that's all you shoot for.
I would say there's a big difference between average and relevant. I would say a team
The Titans prior to Mike Vrabel were always average. They were never great. They never made these runs.
The Vikings are average. The Vikings are an average football team.
Yeah,
right now.
they are.
That's the worst place you could be.
No, it is because like you're. It's that. Yeah, maybe. Oh. It's
just sick, dude. We're playing for the playoffs in week 15 and 16, but when 17 and 18 roll around, we're not anywhere. Right. I completely agree with that. It's if you're a team like, I'm gonna say what I think the Chargers are gonna be over the next 10 years. I think the Chargers are gonna be a team that is relevant every year as long as Herbert's there.
It's the same with the Bengals now. Like the Bengals usually are mediocre. Yeah. I think the Bengals, by default, have to be relevant because it appears Joe Burrow is that dude.
Yeah, he's really good. but I would say guys like that, like they are relevant. Like a team like the Vikings are not relevant. Like
no, they would be average. You're right.
The Eagles have made the playoffs now 16 times in the last 21 years. That's relevant.
No, that is relevance. You're playing meaningful football every January.
You know what's kind of crazy though? This is why Philly sucks. We've missed the playoffs 5 times in the last 21 years.
Yeah, and haven't you had like 5 coaches?
Out of those 5 times, we fired a coach 3 times.
Like it's absurd.
Can you imagine that? Like, isn't that kind of crazy?
That's fucking absurd.
Like Andy Reid went 4-12, missed the playoffs, so they fired him. Hired Chip Kelly, didn't make the playoffs the next year, made the playoffs the following 2 years, and then fired him after he made the playoffs.
To be fair, there was a lot of shit around Chip Kelly.
Yeah. And then Doug Peterson comes in, misses the playoffs once.
Wins the Super Bowl.
Wins the Super Bowl the next year, makes the playoffs 2 years after that, misses the playoffs 1 time, fired.
Makes no sense, dude. I just want to make sure that you're aware of that.
When you really think about it, that's absolutely one of the most unstable.
Like genuinely, do Philly fans think that like it's gonna be like a Matt LaFleur situation where you get 40 wins in your first 3 years? Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you, like,
and that's what Matt LaFleur coming into the greatest quarterback of all time.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
But again, hey, I did see this stat and I thought this was remarkable. The 2 years leading up to Matt LaFleur getting hired, Aaron Rodgers under center was 23-24-1. Aaron Rodgers prior to LaFleur.
Because he hated McCarthy.
It was that was a very toxic time in Green Bay.
It was awful.
Yeah.
But, we lost to the Cardinals that were 2-12 in Lambeau in December.
I'm telling you guys right now, and I really mean this, that Nick Sirianni should take second place in Coach of the Year.
Dog, it's really like LaFleur. Look, I understand people not wanting to give it to LaFleur, but what Vrabel has done to get to the first seed in the AFC without Derrick Henry and Julio and AJ all missing time, my vote goes to Vrabel, but Sirianni, it should be in that conversation 100%.
I think you should finish second because there's nobody in the NFL that's probably beat their expectations of wins by more wins. Like everyone knew that Tennessee was going to have 10 plus wins this year.
But they didn't. That's with Henry though, dude.
I understand, but I'm still saying like they still like met expectations. I agree though, Ty. I don't think Sirianni should win it. I'm just saying Sirianni should receive votes because they were supposed to be rebuilding and they were supposed to be like there was literally analysts in the NFL that were literally predicting them to have the least amount of wins in the NFL. Like the entire league, they were predicted to have the least amount, and they're playing for their 10th win.
Which, by the way, is just completely asinine.
Yeah, but listen, it's because.
But they also did have the easiest schedule by all metrics, so.
It's because they had $68 million in dead cap, and it's because they were
their highest paid player is a Colt.
Yeah, like is Alshon Jeffrey on a team?
Nah.
Okay, well, we're paying a retired wide receiver $14 million this year.
That's hilarious. You're also paying Carson Wentz $34 million, so.
If literally the Philadelphia Eagles are $94 million in dead cap money. They literally started the year out with like just over $180 million in cap to pay 53 players, and they're playing for their 10th win. That is insane. And now what I will say is I think everyone needs, including myself, needs to give Howie Roseman credit for being able to field a roster like that and win games. He fielded a terrible
I'm really excited for
situation.
next year when it's off with his head again. I enjoy
Hey,
those
but
times.
listen. All I know is that Justin Jefferson's never been to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's almost like Kirk Cousins can't get him there.
DK Metcalf, where's he at? He's sitting at home. You know, Jalen Rager's playing football on Sundays in January. I mean, hey.
Hey, Kai.
We know damn well that's a joke. We all know that is a joke.
If we had Justin Jefferson, we still had Carson Wentz, and if we had Carson Wentz, we.
If
still
you have
Doug
DK Metcalf, you have Carson Wentz.
Yeah, our whole lives are different, but that's not.
I still hate that the Packers didn't draft DK. DK and Devontae together, my God.
The point of the matter is that facts are facts, and it's that Jalen Rager is playing on Sunday in the wild card weekend, and Justin Jefferson will be watching. That's a fact. It is what it is. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not
Also,
saying
Kate,
it's right.
I will extend on, since I am part owner of the Packers, I will extend a you're welcome since we beat the Vikings' ass and got you guys into the playoffs.
No, you should have. It was negative temperatures, and they didn't have.
Played like an 8-string quarterback. I hope.
Yeah.
Hey, he's been in the league
why
since 2015, dude.
Why did they not play Kellen Mond?
Because Zimmer hates him, and Zimmer already came out and said, which, by the way, R.I.P. Zimmer.
Yeah. Well, he deserved fire 2 years ago.
Also, while we were doing this, Matt Nagy also got told that he's getting the out of Chicago. So Aaron Rodgers killed the North, literally.
The North is bad. I've decided that.
No, the North is bad. I mean, the Bears and Vikings usually have good defenses, but I looked up the stats after you said that, and no, the last 2 years they've been dog shit. The Bears are above average in defense, but like their offense is mediocre. So
yeah, the North. I'm not saying the North is the worst division because it's definitely not the worst division.
It's a year in and year out division for sure because the Bears and Vikings usually field decent teams, but the last 2 years they've been booty cheeks.
Yeah, well, the Bears have been booty cheeks since they went 12-4.
Since the double doink. Yes.
Yeah, we buried them.
No, you guys actually did kill the Bears. I want you to know that.
Shout out Cody Parkey.
Obviously, the Lions are like a top 3 worst franchise in football, and then the Bears have been obviously the Bears have been the definition of mediocre, and so are the Vikings.
They are basically the Browns, dude, with a better defense every now and then
in a bigger market.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, like the Bears are dog shit, and they have been since 2000. Like, congratulations, you do have a Super Bowl appearance. I will give you that with Rex Grossman. But, like, dude, you're not good.
Okay, so let's ask you. I want to ask you guys this because I know the NFC East was definitely the laughing stock last year. Who was the worst division this year? I mean, we can start to look back on this now. I mean, it's that time. The AFC South.
AFC South.
I wanted to say the South, but I mean the Colts and the
Titans
are the first and fifth seed, dude.
Jacksonville, Houston.
I mean,
you have 2 of the worst teams in the league in the division. You have 2 of the worst teams. Titans and
Titans and Colts are the other 2, which those are 2 of the top teams in the AFC.
But they have 2 of the worst.
Why are the Colts in the South?
They have the 32nd and the 30th worst team in the league, though.
Well, it's the same with.
I mean, dog, you could almost. This season, you could almost make an argument for the North, the NFC North.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm genuinely thinking about it.
This year is bad, for sure.
Genuinely
I would
thinking
say
about
the NFC East, but the NFC East has 2 teams over 500, and Washington is 6-10. Like, they're not terrible. And the Giants, I think, are 5-9. Like, they're not. I mean, not 5-9. 5-11. They're not terrible. They're not as bad as
they're 4-12.
Lions and oh god, poor Lions, dude. They should have won more.
Well, the Lions are 2-13-1. Bears are 6-10, and the Vikings are 7-9.
Bears are 6-10 now.
Yeah, dude. They just smacked the shit. No. They smacked the shit out of the Giants.
Yeah, they won 2 in a row.
I'm going to take the NFC. I'm taking the NFC North because you guys only have 1 team that's above 500, and the AFC South has 2.
The NFC South is also ass cheeks.
The NFC South
this year is really bad. This year, really bad. This year.
Who is
so bad?
The NFC
South.
I
know
4-8-8,
7-9.
Atlanta still went 7-9.
Yeah.
Like, that's not bad. That's not.
I mean, Atlanta can get to 8-9. I mean,
the NFC North is definitely the worst division.
The NFC South is that?
No, the North with the Packers.
I think the North is too.
I mean, just looking around the league, yeah.
Like, listen, if the Packers don't go 13-3, Say if they even go 11-5, it's not even a debate. And we wouldn't even consider this.
No, but the fact that they locked up the entire NFC 2 weeks in advance, I mean, that helps.
Seems like the Packers were gifted that record.
Oh, Evan, are we seeing like early 2000s, like mid 2000s, like Patriots like type vibe right now? Just gifted.
It'd be nice to play in a division.
The Lions prior to Matt LaFleur.
No,
you guys know we lost the Lions 6 consecutive games, right?
You did?
Yeah, we lost prior to Matt LaFleur. The Lions beat the Packers 6 times in a row, both in Detroit and Green Bay.
Well, they cannot beat them this week. Please, no.
Yeah, Evan just put a nice little.
I know.
Low
cheeser
on the Packers.
Nice little cheeser. It'll set the tone for the year about my plus minus. We're going in dollars, keeping it. See how I do.
Yeah, I'm putting you in charge of that, by the way. All right. Yeah, we're already basically there. Let's talk about the playoffs.
You asked for it, though. You did.
Yeah, you're keeping track of that 100%.
You did ask for it.
Okay.
All right. Let's go over the playoffs really quick. The teams that are in, I'll start in the AFC, and we can just kind of talk about each team and what we think their outcome's going to be. So I'm not saying seeding yet, except the Packers. They are the 1 seed. That's not up for debate. Titans are in, Bengals are in, Chiefs are in, Patriots are in, and Bills are in. Those teams are for sure making the playoffs. Seeding is completely up in the air in the AFC. The teams that can make it, Colts, Chargers, Raiders, and Steelers, and I'll throw Ravens in there. Yeah, I mean, Titans to me look like the best team, especially if they get Henry back. They just do, because that means that it'll run through Nashville, and
Don't sleep on the Colts.
I like the Titans a lot, dude.
I like the Titans because they play hard-nosed football. They play January football.
Nashville's also cold as shit.
Hey, Cal, halfway through the season, I'm just going to throw this out there. Your prediction looked really bad, and now it looks actually pretty decent.
I knew it was going to happen because they had the hardest 7 games of any team ever.
Who's that?
The Colts.
I still...
Yeah, the Colts season, their schedule should have been rated the hardest, in my opinion.
Even though
yes,
the Chiefs pretty much they didn't hand the win, but they gave up 2 14-point leads this weekend against the Bengals. I'm still not betting against Patrick Mahomes. I can't.
No, it's one game.
No, totally understandable. Look, I'm not saying that. I think the Titans.
Were they just on an 8-game winning streak?
Yeah, they were a wagon for a hot minute.
Yeah, and then
listen, they need to lose. That kind of refocuses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes a loss is good.
Well, okay. My thing with the Titans is though, again, how do you beat the Chiefs? You keep the ball out of Pat's hand.
Right.
What do the Titans do extremely well?
Yeah.
I think a lot of that depends on if we get Derrick Henry. Like if
the only reason why Titans scare me, is the quarterback play. That's the only reason why it's
totally understandable as well. I mean, that is.
And he has not been good this year.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
I've seen a handful of Titans games this year, and I'm like when they put out the standings or whatever going into this weekend and after the games and stuff after the Chiefs lost, and they said Titans were the number 1 seed. I'm like, how? And then you look back, yeah, I get why, but like, I'm like, how are they there? I mean, like
Brian Tannehill's stats this season. He's 3,400 yards, 17 touchdowns, 14 picks.
Yeah,
he doubled his amount of picks from last year.
And they're currently the number 1
go into that
seed
stat
in the
again,
AFC.
Cade.
He's completing 66.9%.
That's pretty good.
3,400 yards. That's not bad. 17 touchdowns and 14 picks.
Oh,
yeah, that's brutal.
As the number 1 seed quarterback. The number 1 seed
Again,
quarterback.
they're a running team, though. I don't know if you guys saw highlights or anything from the game this weekend, but their backup, number 41, is like a mini Derrick Henry. Dude can run the ball.
Yes.
Isn't it Freeman?
I don't think it's Devontae Freeman, no.
No, it's not Devontae Freeman, but his name's Freeman.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
Honestly, that dude is like a baby Derrick Henry.
Just to add, though, Tannehill.
He ran the
They
shit
like them
over
big
us.
backs down in Tennessee.
Yeah, just run straight
Talk
forward.
about it. Honestly, another Tennessee, whether they're not being talked about just this season because there's nothing flashy about them. They
They're
just
not
win
sexy.
by killing people.
No, they are the furthest thing from sexy.
They're not sexy.
But the other thing
Winning
is
games,
their offensive
ugly.
line is also insanely good.
Yeah. The Tennessee Titans are the Philadelphia Eagles without Derrick Henry.
No, that's
Eagles-
exactly what they
that's
are.
awesome.
Also, their defense is playing significantly better than they did after the first 4 weeks because everyone was like, "Oh my God, Tennessee's defense is horrible." played much better down the stretch.
Yeah.
I think Jalen Hurts is probably definitely having a better year than Tannehill is, hasn't he?
I would say. I mean, he has.
From a team perspective, yes.
Like, I mean, here.
Jalen does way more than Tannehill does.
By the way, did you guys see? We should probably bring this up too, since we're talking about the Titans. Bud Dupree, a former ex-Steeler, just got I think a misdemeanor offense.
Yeah, fighting a person in a Walgreens.
I support that.
The DUI?
What?
Did you say he got a DUI?
No,
you're confusing him with me. I know we look similar.
Raiders.
Oh my god, dude!
No, a Raiders wide receiver got a DUI this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was
Bud Dupree. One. Yeah, that's crazy.
Evan, because you asked, Jalen Hurts is completing 62%, which is not great. I want that to be higher. But he has 3,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, and he's thrown 9 picks. But
how many on the feet though?
What?
How many touchdowns did he run in?
How many he ran in?
Oh, he has 1, 5, 8, 10. 10 rushing.
So 26 and 9.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's not counting his rushing yards. I mean, his rushing yards he has, because that matters.
If you guys move on from Jalen Hurts next year, I would suggest switching fan bases.
Yeah, I'm going to be very upset.
No, I think that you have to.
Rushing
Unless they get like Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, and that's obviously that's a good replacement there.
Yeah, Evan, he has 784 rushing yards as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is Hurts is doing significantly more for the Eagles than Tannehill is.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
How many rushing yards?
He has 784 rushing yards. He averages 5.6 yards a carry.
That's
good. I mean, I got to watch him in person, so it was pretty cool.
Listen, what I'll say, just because we're talking about him, what I will say about Jalen Hurts is I think Jalen Hurts is a quarterback that can win a lot of football games. In the right situation, like he is right now, he's behind a great offensive line
with a running game, which helps getting play action going, and his receivers are competent.
Yes, I just the only thing I need from him is if he can develop a little bit more of a reliable passing game when he needs to use it. Because the thing is having his legs is as a weapon is such like majority of great quarterbacks. Recently. Great quarterbacks don't have to necessarily be an uber great athlete like Jalen Hurts is. All they have to do is be able to pick up 5 or 6 yards on a third and long when people are in man coverage, right? Like Russell Wilson has his whole career. Rodgers has done that. Deshaun Watson, Pat Mahomes.
Again, Patrick Mahomes ran the same 40 as Peyton Manning.
Right, but he
knows how to move around a pocket.
Right. So you use your legs when as a weapon. Right, but when you're someone like Jalen Hurts and Lamar, it's like you have to do so much game planning for it that I just want him to be able to be just a little bit better of a passing quarterback, which he will be because he's only started freaking 18 games.
20.
You got to give him some time. I saw TikTok.
Yeah,
I saw TikTok.
I'm not worried about it at all. I think that he can be someone who can win a lot of games. Do I think he'll win a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles? Probably not, but that's okay.
Did you think Nick Foles?
Never know.
I did not.
Yeah,
I thought
true.
Nick Foles would not, but I did think Carson Wentz would that year. Listen, I'll say.
I mean, they were 14-2
Yes, he was 14-2.
They were 11-2 with Carson Wentz.
No, they were not 14-2. They were 13.
I thought they had 13 wins when Carson got hurt.
They were 13-2, and then they lost their last game.
13-2. Sorry, yeah.
So I will tell you, there was 2 times in my lifetime that I said that my team is the best team in the league, and there's no debate. It was the 2016 UNC Tar Heels because they were by far the best team in the country.
Yes, they were.
And it wasn't close. They lost on a buzzer beater. It happens. Second was to the 2017-2018 Eagles, who were by far the best team in the NFL, and it wasn't close all year long.
I've said that so many times about the Packers, and I get hurt every time.
Yep. The Eagles were the best team in the NFL the entire year, and they proved it by winning with a backup quarterback.
On God, the one year I didn't think we were anything. We go 10-6, are the 6th seed, play 3 games on the road in the playoffs, and win the Super Bowl.
I think I'm about to say something. I hate first-round buys. I think they suck.
That's why the Packers are playing this weekend.
Yeah. No, they need to play. I think Lamar Jackson did it last year. He sat out or whatever the year before, and then they got played the very next week. Got walloped by the Tennessee Titans.
They scored 3 points.
Yeah, I hate that, dude. I would rather, I know it's such a stupid thing to say, but I would rather see a key player go down trying to prepare for the playoffs than like get my ass smacked in the first round.
I'm literally
Either way, they're
sending you
both
razor blades if Adams or
worthless.
Rodgers
Cade.
gets hurt.
That's a little bit different. I think I'm talking
so like with the
like
Packers,
a replaceable player.
So Aaron was on Pat's show today and was talking about how they did this back in 2012 after they went 15-1, and they all rested the last game, played the Lions. That's when Matt Flynn threw for 480 yards and 6 touchdowns.
And then that made him a lot of money, though.
That made him a ton of money with the Seahawks.
Made him a ton of money.
But the Packers did that. They had essentially 3 weeks of rest, and they come out and get just their asses beat by the Giants. It's when the Giants went on to actually win the Super Bowl. So it was 2011, not 2012. But yeah, Aaron said that today. Like, no, we're not doing that again. I understand people are going to say shit, but like, we're playing. We're not going to do this again because
Run the score up on the Lions.
Not good.
Run it up.
That line is. I'm all I'm saying is the line is right now is criminal.
Like if I'm
-2 without Jared Goff, even
it's criminal.
If I'm an NFL coach, I'm flat out running it up on someone if I have to.
I only expect him to play a half. I don't expect him to play all 4 quarters. I don't see that happening, but
run it up, Ty. Momentum.
I hope they run up and won by 50.
Well, no. And okay,
win by 100.
This is my point with that line, and we can talk about this line later on in betting, but my thing with the Packers is you can only suit so many people. So even if Jordan Love plays 3 of the 4 quarters, you're still going to have Allen Lazard, you're still going to have A.J. Dillon, you're still going to have DeGuara, like you're still going to have key pieces that are essentially essential to the Packers right now. That is still more talented than whatever the Lions can put out there.
Yes, absolutely.
Even
with a backup quarterback.
Guys like DeAndre Swift and stuff like that too.
Yeah, like
I don't think they're playing.
No, the best player on the Lions is the rookie Amon St. Brown, who is a stud.
Who's a stud?
Yeah,
yes,
he's a stud.
He's their best player for sure.
Yeah, and we have his brother Equinemius. So just know the St. Brown family.
What?
Their names are wild.
Equinemius.
Amon Ra and Equinemius.
Yeah, I'm asking. How do you say that? The Packers.
Equinemius.
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 Yeah,
there you go.
St. Brown, ESB. And then we have MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Poor kid, man.
All right. Yeah.
MVS is an easy name. I mean, MVS is just MVS. Like,
no, straight up. Also,
although Rogers does call him Marquez though on the show.
Marquez, yep. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. It's a great name. Also, so bubble teams for the AFC: Colts, Chargers, Raiders, Steelers, Ravens. Realistically, I understand like no one sees the Jaguars beating the Colts, but like in the made-up fantasy scenario where they beat them a 7th time in a row in Jacksonville, which I mean, history says bet on Jacksonville, and the line is also 15.5 points.
Yeah, 15.5.
I'm staying away from that.
The Colts.
The Colts are 15.5 point favorites against
I'm
a team.
Tease the shit out of that.
Against a team they haven't beaten in 6 years.
I don't know, dude. The Colts are different. The Colts are way different this year, and
6 years ago, Andrew Luck was playing, dude.
I know. Unless Jonathan Taylor gets hurt, then 6 years ago, didn't they have Blake Bortles?
Yeah, but dude,
Blake of the Year.
We're not going to sit here and act like Blake Bortles is being compared to Andrew Luck.
Well, we would compare him to Trevor Lawrence, though, wouldn't we?
Actually, no. I did see a stat today. Blake Bortles and Trevor Lawrence in their first years are basically identical.
Yeah,
11
Gardner
touchdowns,
Minshew.
17 interceptions, like a 66% completion percentage. It's wild. Kate,
Yeah,
also,
Gardner
your bet
Minshew's-
might be fucked.
No, I gotta throw. He's gotta throw 3 picks on Sunday, and I'll be all right.
Against the Titans.
Yep. No.
Or Colts, sorry.
The Colts.
It could happen. The Colts are playing.
Listen,
He is 17 right now, right? 10 and 17.
Also, the Colts are the second leading team, I think, in turnovers. So
Yes, it definitely could happen. I'm not saying it couldn't, but this is what makes a good line. It was a good line.
No, I mean it was. It's
It was a
come
good
down
line.
to it.
Was that the line made by like FanDuel or you guys?
Nope, that was a line
No,
made
it's
by
an actual
Allen
line. Yeah. Yeah. No,
Guys go work in Vegas.
Cade was saying 10. You're not gonna throw 10 picks this year.
No, I wasn't saying
We got
that.
to revisit that episode. I want to revisit that conversation.
Was it at the beginning of the season? Is that when we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can go back and find that. But okay, realistically, so who gets in? Because
Colts.
so this is
Colts.
The Colts
okay,
get in.
so
Colts
Colts
and
lock
Chargers.
one up, and then
Colts
it's
and
between
Colts are playing the
Chargers
worst
and
team.
Raiders.
The Colts are
Colts
playing
and
the worst team in the
Chargers.
NFL, or one of the worst teams.
Colts and Chargers. They're gonna fill the last spots.
You think
The-
Chargers
wait,
beat
the
Raiders?
Raiders. Wait, if the Raiders
Yes.
beat the Chargers, they're in.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a win and
It
it's a
is
win and get
winning
in.
Sunday night football,
That's-
winning in.
That's
And if the Colts lose and we win, we're in.
The Raiders. I'll tell you what, the Raiders have been a really good story this year. Shout out them.
No, shout out
They're
to
on a 4-game winning streak.
Rich Bisaccia.
A horrible story.
Rich Bisaccia. They're a new head coach, dude.
Dude, it's a horrible story. The Raiders have been through so much shit this year.
No, it's a movie. It's an actual movie.
I mean,
I'm saying it's a good story for them to keep persevering to possibly play
team building.
Yeah.
Big team building.
Honestly, it would be the craziest story. It'd be a movie for sure. If they win the Super Bowl somehow.
Oh my God, 30 for 30.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The 2021 Raiders.
You know who's the glue? Derek Carr and his religious ass is the glue, and you got to appreciate that about the guy.
I think Max Crosby, dude. Shout out Max Crosby.
And then with John Madden too.
Okay, but yo, honest to God question here. Like
Nick Bowers.
Honest to God. Woo! Guys, just humor me for a second on this shit. Because if the Jaguars do win, okay? Thank you. If the Jaguars do win, because the Chargers and the Raiders play the last game of the entire day to decide the playoffs, and you can both make it if you tie, do you try and tie so you both make it?
No.
Not against a divisional rival.
No, I'd be like trying to tie the Ravens for us. No, we're not going to do that. I'd rather see.
There's just no way to do it. The only way is no one score at all.
Everybody kneel and 0-0.
Yeah. The biggest sham in NFL
That would be
history.
scoregami too.
Would be.
No, I understand that can't happen.
I'd throw a dollar on the draw.
That would be. I'm 100% putting money on the draw. 100%. If the Jaguars somehow miraculously win, I'm putting money on the draw.
Yeah. Tie's an option. Absolutely.
Yes, I am. After a few drinks, baby girl.
Okay.
All right. Let's head over to the NFC then. Okay. Well, who do we think makes it? Colts and Chargers.
Colts. That's where I'm going. I'm going with Colts Chargers. Yep.
Maybe
going Colts Chargers.
Steelers, baby. Let's go.
I mean, and if not, I'll go Chargers Steelers. All right, over to the NFC, the number 1 seed that has home field advantage and the Packers.
It's not technically a line for a tie, but you can move it to make it 0-0. Yeah.
So yeah, 1 seed in the NFC is Packers, and then also in are the Buccaneers, Cowboys, Eagles, Rams, and Cardinals, with the bubble teams being the 49ers and Saints. So the Eagles already do have the 7th seed locked up. They can't move regardless.
Wait, the Eagles can move up, actually. They can move up.
I didn't think...
Yes.
Why aren't they the 6th seed right now, then?
Because if... who's in the 6th seed?
If the 49ers get in, they move up.
If the 49ers can be removed from the playoffs.
The 49ers are in the bubble right now.
The 49ers are not in right now. They are...
Right.
Yeah.
They have to win to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Eagles clinch, but the 49ers have not. And that I think whatever the scenario works out is that if the Eagles win on Sunday and the 49ers lose, that they would move to the 6th seed. And I can't remember who slides in the 7. I don't remember the exact.
Well, it would be the Saints then.
Yeah, because the Eagles can still get the 6th seed, but they have a 95% chance of staying in the 7th spot.
See, I thought they were locked into 7.
No,
they
are not locked into 7.
Either the Saints or the 49ers get the 6th seed.
No, because the Eagles beat the Saints, and they would have a better record if the Eagles win, so they would win the tiebreaker.
Got it.
And they would have a better conference record. I mean, a better divisional record.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the Eagles can get the 6th seed, but it's a 95% chance that they don't get the 6th seed. There's a 95% chance right now they play the Rams as a 2 seed, which would be a big fat loss.
I mean, that'd be a really good game, honestly.
See, I don't think so, because I think the Rams are so flighty. Like,
the Rams are incredibly suspect, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
3 seed is who?
The 3 seed right now is the Buccaneers. No, the 3 seed right now is.
I would rather play the Bucs.
The Bucs are dead in the water right now, dude.
I would rather play the Bucs for 2 reasons. One, the Eagles can contain. If the Eagles can contain the run game of Tampa Bay, which they have the number 3 or number 4 run defense in the NFL, all the Eagles have to do is continue to run the ball as good as they do. And I don't know how Tom Brady's going to have the time in the game that he had against the Jets to be able to come back, because they're going to have to come back.
That last drive was the most vile shit I've ever seen. The Jets win the game for 58 minutes straight, and then they lose because they can't pressure a 45-year-old idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, that throw was so good. Yeah, the dude was wide open, and Tom stood in there for 5 seconds. Like, anybody can make that throw.
Right. So I'm just saying personally, I think that if the Philadelphia Eagles play against the Buccaneers, they have a better chance of winning than the Rams. Only because I don't think the Rams are getting back Cam Akers too. So like I really feel
honestly,
like the Rams.
Sony Michel's been one of the best backs in the league, other than Jonathan Taylor. Like I think in yards since the beginning of December, Sony Michel is second.
The Rams, I think they're going to do well. I mean, if that game is not close, if there isn't 2 interceptions by Matt Stafford, so I think they're going to run the ball a crap ton.
Rams should have lost the other week too. He threw 3 picks and they still won.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Stafford has the most pick sixes in the league right now. I think with like 7 as well.
See, that's I would not want to play. I also would rather play Bruce Arians over Sean McVay any day of the week. From like a defensive,
I think regardless, right now you want to play the Bucs over the Rams, and I
actually think the only team I actually think I would rather play.
Are you
the
sure?
Bucs.
Yes.
What? I mean, the Bucs got the Packers number.
That's with a healthy wide receiver core and a suffocating defense. They have neither of those right now.
I would rather play the Bucs than the Cowboys because Dak at home is an elite quarterback. Dak on the road is a trash quarterback.
But Kyler Murray is 9-0 in Dallas, in Jerry World, and right now the Cowboys would be playing the Cardinals again.
Yep.
I loved it. It was so great.
Oh no, I mean it's great. I mean it's just like Aaron Rodgers going down there. Rodgers has never lost in Jerry World. I mean hell, he won a Super Bowl there. Ain't that right?
He cheated.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Polamalu decapitated Greg Jennings.
Cheated.
Yeah, right now, and then, I mean, so right now how it works out, Packers bye, Rams, Eagles. How I'm going to assume it's going to fall is 49ers, Buccaneers.
Who do the 49ers play?
Right now, they'd play the Buccaneers. They'd go to Tampa.
No, who do they play this week?
Oh, this week?
It's a divisional game. Is it the Cardinals?
No, they play the Rams. Yeah. Also, McVay has lost 5 times in San Fran. 5 times in a row. So...
Yeah, I think Trey Lance is playing too.
Trey Lance is starting, yes.
Yeah.
Jimmy G's done for the year. He has the same thing that happened to Russ. So, yeah. That game, I mean...
I got a feeling he's going to be our quarterback next year.
Just for... Kate, who do the Cowboys play?
This week, the Eagles.
Okay, it is the Eagles? Okay, so those 2 games right there, that basically decides the seeding in the NFC then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the Rams and 49ers and Cowboys, Eagles, and then because the Buccaneers are going to beat the shit out of the Panthers.
Yeah.
So right now the Buccaneers realistically probably move to second.
I think the Rams will beat the 49ers.
In San Fran?
Yep. Yep.
We'll see. But if that is the case, then Rams stay. Buccaneers, again, I'm just saying the Bucs win. They'll stay at 3. Then that would put the Saints in there at 5, and the Buccaneers would play the Saints, and I love that. I actually want that to happen now. Can that please happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Saints
Bucs
have their number, dude. Saints destroy the Buccaneers.
They really know how to game plan them.
No, Sean Payton knows how to beat Bruce Arians' offense, period.
Mm-hmm.
And then that would still, Eagles, Rams, Cardinals, Cowboys. Yeah, the only thing that would change is instead of the 49ers would be the Saints in there. Going off of that scenario where the Eagles win and the Rams win. Nothing changes, yeah. I don't know, I'm excited. The NFC is going to be an interesting one regardless, just because, again, I saw this tweeted, but, like, I genuinely do think the 14 best teams right now are in contention for the, like, playoffs. Like how it sits right now.
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't say with are the Saints in technically right now?
Saints are not in. They're the 8th seed.
Okay, then if the Saints were in, I would say no.
Yeah, right now the 49ers are the 6th seed and the Eagles are the 7th seed. And over the last 10 weeks, I would say that these are the best 14 teams. That's just me.
Yeah. I would so technically are the Chargers technically in right now?
Chargers are in. If the season was to end right now, Chargers are the 7th seed.
Okay. Yeah, then I agree with that.
Because they have the first time, like they have the one game over the Raiders. But if the Raiders win this game, like it's just.
By the way, the Arizona could still win the NFC West. The NFC West isn't locked up either.
So the 49ers have to win, and then
if the Cardinals win and the Rams lose, the Cardinals will become the 2 seed.
I don't think they become the 2 seed. I think it's the Buccaneers become the 2 seed because again, the Buccaneers I think are just beating the Panthers.
I think but I think the Cardinals have a better record.
No, the Cardinals are 11-5, and if the Buccaneers do win, then they are 13-4.
Oh, okay. I thought the Bucs had 5 losses.
Nope, because the Jets should have beat them, but they can't. Buccaneers only have 4 losses, so the Bucs would hop to 2. The Cardinals would be 3, I believe. Yeah, because the Cardinals will have a tiebreaker over the Cowboys, so that would put the Cowboys at 4 still. Yeah. I didn't know that. I thought the Cardinals were basically locked into 5. Clinch. No, it does say clinch playoffs instead of division. Interesting. All right. Well, speaking of the Buccaneers, do we want to talk? Do we have anything for the playoffs? Do we want to do predictions or anything yet, or do we want to wait until next week?
I don't think so. I think
seeding is like locked up.
I think it's figured out.
Yeah. Once seeding's locked up, then we can have a whole playoff prediction episode.
Playoffs and awards.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's talk about the Buccaneers player. Antonio Brown is. Again, people can say what they want, like, yeah, it's sad and everything, and, like, if it is a mental illness, fucking so be it, like, I understand, but the point is, if it is that, he shouldn't be playing, that's my opinion, like, people keep giving him all these chances, and yet he keeps doing this shit, so, yeah, say it's mental illness or whatever, but he's still playing in the NFL, so he's absolutely available for scrutiny, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. Dude clearly has bipolar disorder, CTE, whatever the fuck you want to call it, like, he has to be done in the NFL. Has to.
I was super surprised. Even like we're bringing it back to like the Big Ben thing is like he posted that video about Big Ben
not retiring.
He looked like so like locked in for something like that, but then at the same time took his clothes off in the middle of thousands of fucking people and walked out of a building.
Because he was told to go back in.
Yeah. When he has incentives.
8 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown, and he gets $1 million. That's literally a game for AB.
Yeah. Well, especially with the week before, he had 10 catches.
He's the number 1 option when Mike Evans was injured. He's the number 2 right now to a very good team.
Yeah. And there's arguments where he's almost the number 1 option, even when Mike Evans
even when playing. Evans and Godwin are there. You can still make the debate. I mean, he's still, like, realistically, look at his numbers. He's a top 10 receiver of all time. Now, whether I put him lower or higher than everyone else, that is what it is. But I think you got to give him at least top 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I saw a thing. There's going to be a study that comes out on Antonio Brown that's going to completely cripple the NFL.
No, it's going to shut it down. Again, another thing. Hey, circling back, shout out Mike Tomlin for 9 years of this.
Yeah, I know. I saw that thing too. It was like
there's going to be
one of the greatest feats in all of sports is that Mike Tomlin suffered through Antonio Brown for 9 seasons.
Like actually, though.
There should be a 30 for 30 on the triple Bs.
Yeah.
Realistically, there will be. Also, I saw Lev Bell's tweet about Big Ben, too.
Big Ben, yeah, that was a good tweet.
Yep. No, I mean, realistically,
you guys see the cameo
maybe not a 30 for 30, but like definitely like a documentary on it because it was a crazy time.
I mean, Le'Veon didn't leave on bad terms like AB did. It's not even.
No, just sat out.
He did the sitting out thing is like I don't think is bad terms. It was a contract negotiation. They couldn't meet in the middle, so he didn't provide a service. End of story. I mean, like granted, like it didn't pan out for him, and like
what happened with Le'Veon Bell was
like
business.
what AB did.
What happened with Le'Veon Bell was business. What happened with AB was
personal
psycho shit.
Yes.
Yeah, personal psycho shit.
We can blame Vontaze Burfict for ruining a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, Burfict hit him more than one time in the head.
It is 100% that shot by Vontaze that triggered all of this.
Is Antonio Brown a Hall of Famer, though?
No. Again, I will give him.
He's top
10.
25 in every statistic that.
No. I just said I'll give him top 10 receiver of all time. He's not like people wanted to hold it against T.O. when T.O.'s arguably a top 3 receiver of all time.
Yeah, AB's not as good as AB's ability.
And significantly worse of a cancer.
If he gets in, they're about equal. If he gets in,
AB quit in the middle of a football game.
Also, has a
video. was mad because he knew he was open every freaking play and didn't get the ball.
T.O. still to this day blames his Super Bowl loss on his quarterback going out and getting drunk the night before.
Dude, and that's fine. He played on a broken leg.
That doesn't make him a cancer. He played 1 year.
I mean, he definitely was a cancer. I mean, but I'm saying he's a bigger one than if you're saying right now that T.O. wasn't a cancer, Cade. You're saying he wasn't a cancer. That's what you just said.
No, T.O. was not nearly as much of a cancer. T.O. did not
I agree. I 100% agree. But I'm saying T.O. was a cancer.
T.O. is worse than Antonio Brown.
T.O. was a cancer.
Definite cancer, but I think there's degrees to it. And like working out in your driveway and crying about your quarterback and blaming your quarterback. I mean, we have.
But what I was saying anyways is that
their quarterbacks all the time.
If AB gets in to the Hall of Fame, it'll be at his very last few years of eligibility.
I can agree
because
with that.
of
definitely not going to be a first or couple ballot guy. No way.
No, because especially because of his antics. Statistics wise, he should be, but antics wise is gonna keep him out. I mean, there's still people arguing right now. Just talking about Big Ben that he's not a first ballot.
Which is the most absurd shit I've ever heard.
His career is what his career is. It's not even close to what
you saw the shit last night.
He's
one of 3 players with 60,000 yards in two or more Super Bowls.
Yeah. I will say about AB.
And top 5 in all statistical categories.
Yes.
And most 500-yard games. Like AB is a first, or not AB, sorry. Ben is a first ballot.
Yes, he's the first ballot. He's one of the guys you look around and they're like, is he in the Hall of Fame? And like 99% of people say yes. The one thing I will say about AB, that I think even if AB's antics isn't what ended his career, say like an injury ended his career, like even like today, say like everything played out the same, like he went, like I won't even say the Patriots because I mean that was all the antics, so it's kind of hard.
No, but
I'll say if he played his last snap for the Pittsburgh Steelers and he never played a snap after that again, he is not a Hall of Famer in my opinion.
If he would have stayed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, though, he definitely easily would have been.
I agree with that, but I'm saying
if
I'm saying if he would have had a career-ending injury and he never played another snap after the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't think he's a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
With the talent that he had and what they did with him, between him and Ben, the connection that they had, if he would have stayed his entire career with Ben up until this year, he would be in that conversation of top 5 all time.
No, I don't.
That's a lot of speculation. It's a lot of speculation, but that's where the fucking projection was going.
No, it's a big what if, but again, like I don't think you can make that. You can't say no.
Yeah.
Because Ben had his injury. Ben definitely declined over the last year and a half, but like the trajectory, as you just said, was there.
Yeah.
Like I will give him top 10. I will wholeheartedly do that. He's not a Hall of Fame receiver, though, in my opinion, because of everything that comes along with Antonio Brown.
I think Antonio Brown will only get in the Hall of Fame because he won a Super Bowl last year. That's it. And
had a good Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like he caught 7 catches. He had like 7 or 8 catches.
Not win a Super Bowl, in my opinion. I don't think he's I think the Super Bowl is what's going to kind of blanket the antics a little bit and make it kind of like gray. Like, yeah, this dude was kind of whacked out.
Also, big shout out. I completely forgot this was a thing and was reminded earlier. He did sign with the Bills for like 2 days.
Yes.
Yeah, AB technically was a Buffalo Bill for a hot second.
Said peace out.
Yeah, no, and then went to the Raiders, and then took a hot air balloon to
Wait, no, the Steelers traded for him, and then the trade got reversed, right? I mean, that's the Steelers. The Steelers traded him to the Bills and it got reversed.
But he was technically a Bill for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Whack.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then, the whole Raiders thing. I mean, never played a snap for the Raiders, intentionally burnt his feet, put out that video of him running around his yard like a idiot. Like,
you got to think, dude, like, there's guys like just in retrospect to, like, other players. Like, I'll say just someone that, like, is, like, easy for the conversation. Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson had years of success, won a Super Bowl, no antics, all that kind of stuff. Like, just a quiet, like, good wide
compared
receiver.
to AB, much harder worker.
Yeah. He will not be in the Hall of Fame.
No, not even close. He won't sniff it. Devontae is on a trajectory
better
to
than Jordy Nelson, and I'm not saying that by any means. I'm just saying that, like, I think it's extremely hard as a wide receiver to get there, and I feel like
you have to be transcendent to make the, like, Marvin Harrison makes
he was that, but he just was
for a while.
It was for like 6-7
years
to other receivers, a heartbeat. It was like a 3 to 4 year stretch of, like, really, really great football.
I think it was like 5, 6.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 5 years in a row he had over 1,000 yards catching.
Yeah, but 1,000 yards
and 100 and, like,
he in the Hall of Fame as a wide
receiver. He had 100.
A lot of receivers in the NFL,
but I know, like, on that 5 year stretch, he had over 100 catches. He had over 100 catches.
Read his numbers, Ev, over those years.
Yeah, 6 in a row. So it's first one, 2013, 1,500 yards, 110 catches.
That's great.
14, 1,700 yards, 129 catches.
Yep.
15, 136 for 1,834 yards. 106 for 1,284. 101 for 1,533. And 104 for 1,297. So 6 years.
That's 2 years longer than I thought it was.
In the 1 year, I think he had
he had 15 touchdowns in 2018. 12 and 16,
like
10 and 15, 13 and 14, 8 and 13, 9 and 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are Hall of Fame numbers.
Yeah, that year,
for 6 months
year
now,
in 16.
Yeah,
in that year,
the only problem is it's only
6
6 years. Like, it's only 6
yeah.
years. Like, Marvin Harrison, a guy like Marvin Harrison did that for 13.
Yeah. I mean, even Megatron did it for 10 and then retired.
That year in 16 was the year that Carson Wentz, you guys won the Super Bowl, everything.
17.
Yeah, but the year 16 and the 17.
AB should have won it,
was
yes.
17 and 18.
He should have won the MVP that year. Should have.
It was 17 and 18 was the year.
8 years.
Should have won the Super Bowl in 2018.
Should have won the MVP that year.
Again, my point with receivers, though, is you have to be transcendent. Like, at the top of your game for prolonged time. Unfortunately for me, AB doesn't meet that, but, like, his peak was as high as anybody else's, and I'll give him that.
Top, like Ty said, top 10 all time.
I mean, Marvin Harrison had those type of numbers for 8 years, and we're talking AB is 6. So
those type of numbers, or, like, are you saying that, like, after 8 years, like, Marvin Harrison just retired, or what?
No, I'm saying, I mean, his first 3 years, he didn't have 1,000 receiving. I'm just going on.
Okay, was it 800 or more?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 of them. So, I mean, so is AB, though. I can go back and look at a couple seasons for AB that were 800 or more, for sure.
But also, Marvin Harrison was the quiet guy that just came in, did his job, and had Peyton Manning.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison is totally deserving of being in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, 100,000%. I agree. But, I don't know, the longevity thing, I mean, man, if Antonio Brown would have played maybe a full year this year instead of getting hurt, I mean, he was having a great year until he got hurt.
Again, statistically, no one is arguing against AB. I don't think that's it. It's
the
precedent was set with Terrell Owens that off-field activities affect your Hall of Fame ballot. And when you're asking me to weigh those two's off-field antics and on the field antics now,
humans vote. It's not math. It's
Barry Bonds wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, guys. Like,
Barry Bonds is still not in it. He's in last year. This is his last year of eligibility.
Okay, I don't ever want to hear anything about Antonio Brown again.
Yeah, this is last year.
Barry Bonds is one of the greatest players of all time.
Guys, again, I'm comparing him to someone who I think had a prolonged peak, a longer peak. He was not as good. I'm not saying he was as good because he definitely was not, in my opinion. But Reggie Wayne is not in the Hall of Fame, okay? And this is a player over the stretch. This is a stretch of 8 years, okay? He had 77 catches, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. Next year, he had 8,300, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. Next year, he had 86 catches, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. The next year, he had 104, 1,500 yards, and 10 touchdowns. The next year, he had 82 catches, 1,145, 6 touchdowns. The next year, he had 100, 1,264, 10 touchdowns. The next year he had 111 catches, 1,355 yards, and 12 touchdowns. He only played 8 games the next season. He had 75 catches for 960 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then his last good year before he retired the following year, he had 106 catches for 1,355 yards and 5 touchdowns. So I'm saying AB's better than him, and AB's peak is definitely better than his. But I mean, I just named 8 to 9 seasons of 100 catches and 1,300 yards and almost 10 touchdowns.
That he's not in yet.
Hall of Fame.
Not yet. There's a chance.
Right, but I'm saying, but that's like
that, and that's where I was saying if AB gets in, it will be later, like deep into his
and
eligibility.
Rightfully should be.
Yeah,
right.
Again,
he's definitely one of those. He's one of those players that we look back as one of the biggest.
No, it's a massive what if.
Yeah, like
he'll forever be that way because you rattle off like Evan just did those stats over a span of 6 years, and then you say, oh, what happened to him? In year 8, 9, 10. Oh well, he decided to burn his feet off in a cryo chamber, fly a blimp into practice, and quit in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
It's like God rest his soul. It's like Demaryius Thomas. Demaryius Thomas's peak was ridiculous, but he just didn't.
No, his 4-year run with Peyton was like top 3 receivers.
And that sucks because I love watching Antonio Brown. I love the whole business booming. I thought, but to be fair though, that I will say about AB was everything was quiet out of Pittsburgh until shit finally hit the fan. That is the one thing. Pittsburgh was extremely good at no one even knew that these negative things were happening with AB until literally the sexual assault allegations came. That's another thing.
And going 115 miles an hour down a road that's literally a 30 mile an hour, and then throwing a couch out of a balcony.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you forget. A lot of things. He punched a cop.
Yeah,
fought a cop.
No, he's honest to God like a shitty human being.
He's a piece of shit.
He's a terrible human being.
You can be who you can afford to be, and he can afford to be whoever the f*** he wanted to be because, as we're all agreeing here, he is a top 10 receiver of all time.
Yeah.
Again, that's the reason he got to fake a Vax card this year and didn't get cut, even though Bruce Arians last year said he has one opportunity. That wasn't true.
Yeah, he did f*** up pretty bad with that.
You think?
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's a federal... It's like
it's a federal crime right now.
It's like forcing a social security card.
Yeah, no.
I just can't believe he quit. He literally screwed my fantasy team.
It's not just that he quit, but originally we
I
were
was
like,
playing
oh,
against
they're
Evan in
telling
the
him to sit.
championship.
So
The next thing I know, I see AB's literally leaving the field. I'm like, what is happening? Why?
What's up, Evan?
Evan
No,
won.
he said my fantasy line went like this.
Oh, yeah. No, again, it wasn't even because originally we thought maybe he was getting told to sit down and he wasn't going to get those incentives, even though it's the the Buccaneers, and they have a bunch of veteran players that took smaller contracts, and those incentives that aren't on the salary cap are the reason that they're there. So I feel like they'd push them more towards it. And then we come to find out no, Bruce Arians said go in, and AB just didn't want to play, and then BA said get out.
Yep.
And then he does this. While it is 3rd down and Tom Brady is on the field, he takes his shirt off and runs through the other end zone. It's crazy people shit. But with all of that being said, do we want to move on to a different sport, or do we have something else to add in the NFL?
No, I'm good with the NFL.
Yep.
All right.
TJ Watt's going to break the record.
What is?
TJ Watt's going to break the record.
TJ Watt is definitely going to break the record. I also don't think Cooper Kupp is breaking that record.
No, I don't either.
He needs 230 yards and 10 catches and a touchdown. Well, no, he's not even getting close to the touchdown record. I don't think he's going to sniff. I don't think he's sniffing the yardage record either. But he already came out and said I don't think mine should count even if I do because it's an extra game.
Yeah.
And what they did in 16 games is way more impressive than what I can do in 17 games.
If he would have did it this week, I would give him credit for it.
No, I mean it's like if TJ does it, that's 15 games that he did it in. That is 100% valid to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, he was injured for 2 of them. So
yeah, he was injured for 2 of them, but he was also out of.
I was going to say that one
2 other
game
halves of football.
I was going to say that one game he only played the first half that I watched.
The one game he only played the first quarter.
Yeah, So, I mean, yeah, TJ's, if I hope he does get it legitimately, like, I don't even understand how it's a debate for Defensive Player of the Year. Like, I understand Micah Parsons was flashy and he's like the new young toy, but like, does anyone understand what TJ Watt is truly doing?
Yeah.
Like, in less games than most normal seasons, he is about to break the sack record set by Michael fucking
He'll
Strahan.
get snubbed. Aaron Donald will get it again, and then, all will be right with the world.
Cal, by advanced metrics, I did see a spreadsheet. By advanced metrics, Aaron Donald is still the best defensive player by a wide margin. So
yeah, huge.
But the ones that no one sees that literally, like, computers come up with, but...
Yeah, huge margin.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw the computers.
All right, well, in our hiatus, boys, the NHL actually shut down like for 2 full weeks, and the NBA has been literally signing whoever they can off of the street that's over the height of 6'4". COVID has run a rampage on these 2 leagues. NHL is finally back. The Canadian teams are actually back down to having no attendees, I believe. They might be back up to 50% capacity. I
think there's some like that in the NBA too.
Yeah, I mean, it may very well be. I'm going to a Nuggets game this Friday, and I know that I have to have my vax card and wear a mask and everything. So,
well, I know I saw a thing of a video.
Toronto's no fans right now.
Yeah, no, it's the same. So it's that entire like Montreal area, like everything south of Montreal and like in Toronto and Ottawa and all of that. They have no fans at the NHL games. I know that. So yeah. Been running wild on these 2 leagues, while the NFL has also been dealing with their own issues, but they're kind of just at this point not making up their own rules, but making it work, because at one point they had I don't know, it was like 7 starting quarterbacks in crunch time football that have never seen a snap. So
yep.
It wasn't good, but the NFL is getting by compared to these other 2 leagues. I mean, hell, Kate, at one point, the Bulls had 11 people on the COVID list?
There was only 24 people in the entire protocols in the NBA, and the Bulls had 11.
Yeah, which is just insane when you think about an NBA roster being 12 people? 11 people?
I think they run...
Is it 15?
15.
They run 15.
Okay.
I think the one thing, though, about it when it comes as a fan or a franchise or anything like that, I'd almost rather have it be like that, where the Bulls like, hey, we're going to go, it's 1 week where we lost everyone, and then we're good the rest of the year. Rather than,
way better
you lose Lonzo Ball for this, and then you lose DeRozan, and then you lose, bits and pieces throughout the year. Hey, we just chalked a week. Screw it.
Well, and that's, dude, that right now, I mean, just to double back on the NFL since we're talking about COVID, like the Cowboys, for example, I mean, the Eagles are dealing with it right now, but like, if you're going to have a break in your building, you want it right now this week before you get to the playoffs.
Yep, chalk it.
Because if you get into the playoffs, and you have it, oh, buddy.
Chalk it.
It's rough.
It's not going to, what if Tom Brady gets in their first game? Like, the divisional game, or the wild card weekend? Is the NFL going to allow that to happen?
No. Tom Brady, no shot. No shot.
But that's my whole thing. It's crazy to
they
think
lose
about.
Money. They hear losing money, then they're not gonna let it happen.
No, that's the crazy thing is we have to legitimately think about that. What is the NFL gonna do if Tom Brady 2 days prior to a playoff game self-reports and says, hey, I have some flu-like symptoms, tests and has COVID? Are they legitimately going to say, Tom, shut the up, or okay, yeah, no, you're not gonna play on Super Wild Card Weekend? Come on. We know the answer. It's a business. Yep. But that's what's crazy about the NFL and the NBA is, again, the NHL shut down for 2 full weeks. They have not played a game over the entire holiday break.
Yep.
And in that time, they also straight up told all of the players to get bent. You're not playing in the Olympics.
Which is so sad.
Well, it definitely sucks. But at the same time, again, I understand it because, I mean, let's look at the timetable. So you already have to take a 2-week break for the Olympics if they were to go over there and play, put all games on pause. They just did that with COVID where there was a 2-week break, so push it back 2 weeks already. If you do the Olympics, push it back 2 more weeks. And then the NHL is also going to have a depleted talent pool for 5 weeks because to go to the Olympics right now, you have to sit in quarantine for 5 weeks prior to entering China.
5 weeks.
Oh, then they just can't do
5
that.
weeks
Yeah.
before you get to go to the Olympic Village.
That's
What do
ridiculous.
you do?
So
That's ridiculous.
no, so realistically, like again, Evan, I'm 100% on board. The Olympics are so much better when we have Ovechkin, Marchand, Landeskog, Patrick Kane, Sid playing for like McKinnon playing for all of these like national teams, like way better. I mean, just you can't.
Oh
beat
my
that
God,
shit.
the Canada team would be so nasty, dude.
McKinnon, Crosby, and McDavid on the same line, dog, on a
Yeah.
power play with Cale
Yeah.
McCarr on the blue line.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's that. Like obviously, and like Olympic hockey.
It
is
sucks
just
for guys.
Fucking awesome.
It sucks for guys like Ovi and Sid, where it's probably
More
been
than
their
likely
last
their
chance.
last time. I mean, you're
Their
not going to
last
tell
chance to
either of
play.
them that they can't play in 4 more years. Like,
Oh, I just want to see that so bad.
like,
Me too.
yeah. I mean, realistically, like in 4
Fuck
more
COVID.
years, they could both play at a reduced role. I mean, they'll both be pushing 30, late 30s,
38.
40s.
Oh,
Ovi's
Ovechkin's older than
36,
Sid.
isn't he?
Yeah, and Sid's 34, I believe.
Yeah. Same with Gino. I mean, but I think Gino might have 2 more years of hockey before his knees explode. So
Yeah, he's depleting.
no, so that's unfortunate. But again, from the NHL's perspective, after having a 2-week delay already, I completely understand their decision to not let it happen because that's 7 more weeks of depleted or pushed back play for the NHL. Which I mean, again, you're putting the Stanley Cup back into like July, like it was last year.
Yeah.
So it makes it difficult. Like, I do understand. I hate it, but I understand, especially, again, from a business decision where they're coming from. The NBA, on the other hand, has just said, we're going to keep playing, and I don't care who has to suit up. Like, I mean, I've enjoyed all the old retired guys saying, like, hey, you can sign me for a 10-day. I'll take a couple mil and play.
Yeah.
Kate, where are we on that? Like, are we back out? Like, are we on the other side of that, or are there still teams that are just getting completely f***ed by...
Actually, a lot better than they were, but it's still not. I mean, like, they're still here. I'll look up how many players are right now. How many NBA players in protocol?
'Cause I'm trying to think. The Broncos, like, last week just had, like, 15 people on the COVID reserve list, but this week they're all back.
There's only 16 players right now for the NBA.
Okay, so that's way better than, like, the 105 that, like, they had, like, 2 weeks ago.
The Eagles put down 24 players this week.
Yeah, but again, like, that's what I was saying earlier is I think it's better to do it this week and just say, you guys are in the playoffs regardless.
Well, no,
Get it done and out of the way.
No, what they're doing is that they did it because like with the new like whatever it's called, the new the new protocol. The way that they're doing it is you don't have to, because like Dallas Goedert was tested positive like literally 3 weeks ago, and was able to make.
So he was unvaccinated then, right?
No, he is vaccinated.
Oh, so he just hasn't produced a negative test.
Right, so that's why they all put him on there, because the only thing they have to do is produce a negative test then.
Yeah, if you're vaccinated, you like it's 5 days, or if you can produce a negative test twice within 48 hours.
Right, so literally that's why they did it, so then they can get him on there now, so then they don't have to work like try to like do it like, because obviously Eagles are playing earlier too.
Yep.
In the week. So then they don't have to worry about it. Like it wasn't like, oh, they're practicing and now on Wednesday gotta go on it. They're like anyone who had any type of tracing or anything like that, they just threw them on it. So then they can go through the protocol and be back to play Sunday or Saturday. You guys have anything else?
I think that's really all I have is just
I've been looking at bets.
it is pretty absurd what is still doing. Omicron is just ravaging everything, but I mean that's where we're at. Yeah, I'm really just hoping that the world kind of gets back to normal because again, like I enjoy going to sporting events and I'm sick of this shit.
Yeah. Me too.
Yep.
All right. So, betting segment time, is that where we're at?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, no, massive shout out again to Cade for actually winning the son of a bitch last year. I can actually say last year, which is weird to think about because you did.
I'd like to thank my friends and family and my dog.
So again, just if you're listening or watching along on YouTube, by the way, I don't know why you're not watching us live on YouTube right now. That's on you. But yeah, so this year we're going to be doing it a little different and a little bit of the same. We're still going to keep records, but we're also going to be keeping units for the entire year. So I mean, realistically, like Evan can go 39 and 58 again, but he can win the most money if all of his bets are obviously worth more. So
okay, let's declare this now. The winner is going to be units, not record.
We can do one of each.
So I've set up an Excel sheet where I'm keeping both. So
I think we should do.
I'm going to write them both down like I always do.
I think
you don't have to do that, Ty. I have shared the Excel sheet with everybody.
It's for Charles when he edits the video, though.
Oh, you're right. Well, I can add Charles' email in here too, where he has access to it.
That's fair.
So you don't have to write it down.
I'll just do this because I just hand him it and he timestamps it on here. So.
No, Ty. What I'm saying is I think that, in my personal opinion,
okay,
I think that we should do the winners units.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, like, sure, I won and I had the best record, but I might not have won the most money. So, like, would you rather win the most money or win more bets?
Win the most money. Yeah.
You'd rather win the most money.
I'm not arguing that.
Question.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I just want to make sure.
So
we set. We set.
Yeah. We can do, if we're gonna do it, we can do units. Absolutely.
Yep. Cool.
Question. So my two bets, one of them's minus 110. What do we like? What? How many units is that?
90.
I don't know. You're the guy that's keeping track of it. Figure it out.
Right?
Because I know, like, okay, so if the bet's plus 700, it's 7 units, right? But what happens when it's minus 110?
I think it's 90, right? No,
it could be 9 units.
Let's educate ourselves.
Well,
it could be. It could be 0.9 units.
No, it's 0.9. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, because if you bet $100,
that's why I was right by saying 90.
So we're gonna have some decimals in here, because like
my
Steelers.
What was it? Big Cats can't lose parlay for the first. It just got back up to positive, and it says plus 15. So like it reads as plus 15 units, but then if you look, there's a very tiny dot, and it's plus 0.15 units.
Right. Yeah.
So he's up $1.
Or $100 technically.
Yeah,
If you bet $100 every single time, he's up. $100.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't $100 be 1 unit? 0.15.
It would be $10.
Is $1.
Yeah, which is $10 because it's $0.1. It's 1/10 of 100.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. I was wrong, but yes, that is, now that you say that, you're correct. And not, but it's not $1. It's 10. But yes, I definitely, I mean, the reason why I kind of like doing the units too is when you do an straight underdog, like you're not just doing the spread, because like that's the thing is like I just bet a lot of spreads because like there was no like, I guess you could say like incentive just to do the underdog.
Yeah.
And
like, say 1 week Cal bet, a plus 700 one and Ty bet my minus 140, and they both won, but like those wins aren't the same.
Right,
no,
exactly.
like me betting Colts money line at minus 1,100 right now.
It's just it's a cherry pick bet, right?
Yeah.
It's not the same as taking the Eagles that are depleted that are plus 250.
Right.
I've already written in my bet. I'll go first. I'm taking the Steelers plus 5.5 at minus 112. So I guess that would be 0.88 units. I'll make sure I write that down.
We'll figure it out.
0.88. Nope, I'm figuring it out right now. And then the Packers, I have minus 2.5 at minus 115, which is 0.85 units.
Right.
And then I will type in the records too.
What was the Steelers, minus 112?
Yes.
Boy, I haven't really taken some dogs there, buddy.
That's how all they are. That's how they all are. When you're doing spreads and stuff.
I'm ready, Ev.
Yep, I'm ready to. Go ahead.
I'm going to take Alabama in the national championship game as underdogs plus 120.
I was going to do that too.
Alabama is underdogs?
Yeah, they're 3-point dogs.
What? I'll be betting that for sure. Why is that doing that?
When is that? Is that
Monday night?
Monday night.
Bama money line, right?
Yep.
Alabama money line. Yeah, Cade has them at plus 120.
1.2 units. Yep. And then what's your other one, Cade?
I was going to do an NBA game, but they look pretty trash. So give me 1 second. I'm going to do an NFL. I'm just going to do it off the yak in my head. Oh, that was
off the
tough.
yak?
The yak, yeah. Like
the cognac.
Honest to God, just a real quick heads up. Chiefs minus 10 might be the lock of the century because there's no Bronco fans attending. They have nothing to play for. Drew Lock is playing, and to boot, it got moved to Saturday from Sunday, which means like there's going to be no Broncos fans there because there's already a bunch of stuff out there, like they're protesting it and everything, like they want change and yada yada yada, kind of like the Jaguars are doing. So the Chiefs might just demolish the Broncos by a lot.
Okay, listen, this is a really risky bet, but I'm going to make it. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to take Seattle plus 6.5 against Arizona, minus 112.
No, I love that. I was looking at it too.
Okay. Who's next?
What was
I'll
yours,
go.
kid? What was that second one?
Mine was the Seattle plus 6.5 against the Cardinals.
What was your line? Like
Minus
6.5.
112.
the units.
0.88.
0.88.
Yeah.
0.88 units.
All right, yeah, Evan, you already have both of these written down. I'm not changing. I'm staying very firm with it. Packers minus 2.5. I'm 100% going with that. I don't know how the flying gets that, but I'm riding that sumbitch hard. Thought about taking the Bengals opened at +3, and I almost threw money on that immediately.
Who are they playing?
The Browns.
Oh,
And now the line...
is Joe Burrow not playing?
No, they are playing because there's the first seed on the line.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And the Browns don't have Baker either.
Yeah, no, the Bengals opened as 3-point dogs in Cleveland, but now that line has since shifted six points to where the Bengals are favored by 3 in the span of a day.
I might still take that. Holy shit!
Yeah, Bengals are -3 right now. The over/under is 40.5. The Bengals might score that by themselves if Chase and Burrow play.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, yeah, no, Alabama money line +125. By the way, on FanDuel it's +125. F you, Barstool.
2.5 units.
So we also got to figure out what we're doing.
I'm
Well,
on FanDuel still.
So you can do Barstool, you can do and we can do
It's
FanDuel.
units. It doesn't. Yeah.
It's units, so it doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter because his
I
unit's
guess
going to be
guys,
different. Yeah, that's
I'm
where it
getting
matters the most.
I'm getting a
That's
half
where it
of a
matters the
penny.
most.
I'm getting a half of a penny.
But units wise, it's a money line bet. So like you're taking a money line. You're not getting any extra points. You're getting the same pick as Cade, but getting more benefit.
But
out
half
of it.
a penny.
That actually, but in units wise, that can swing a lot.
I'm not arguing
so-
that. On FanDuel, it's +125.
I got it. So we can still use I like using FanDuel because I like the interface better.
I like the interface way more.
So we just rounded up to the highest units. I'll give Cade 1.25, and we're gonna do that if it's the same for Barstool too.
That's what I wrote him for.
So it's good all around. If we have the same bet, we'll just do the same units for everybody.
Yeah, no, there's no shot I can't
So it
take
makes it
Alabama
fair.
money line as dogs, man. There's
I
no
have
shot.
them as well. I have them as well.
Like-
All right, what was your...
That's one for you
what was
too,
your
Cal?
line for
Yeah.
Alabama then?
Plus
What's your other
125.
Oh, okay.
It's marginal,
sure.
but the
I
FanDuel
didn't
line
even
is
look
better.
at college football. I just looked at NFL.
$5 on it's $5 on 100. That's what it is. It's $5 on every bet's 100, which over the course of a year would be very effectful, but not maybe a course of a week, obviously.
No, but it is what it is. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then my other bet, I'm taking the Bengals -3.5 plus 100.
So you got
Yeah, if anyone makes the same,
you take the
bet.
highest.
Yep, you take the higher one. Yep.
Cool. All right, I got them all in, and everybody's invited to see. So you guys can see your bets.
Both
If you
my
forget-
bets, just so you know, both my bets are
If
plus.
you work the Excel sheet,
Yeah, no, I
where
mean, Cal, you're gonna
whenever
try and
you
hop out
type
to an
in
early
the
lead. I
unit,
put
figured
it.
it out for you.
Yep.
You have it
Wait,
set up that way.
your Bengals
What?
-3 is plus.
You have the Excel
Plus
sheet
100.
whenever you type in the units and you type
What's
in
plus 3.5?
like minus
On
like
mine.
0.88
Wait,
units
the
or
Bengals
plus
are
20
plus 3.5?
It doesn't have for you to have the total amount of units.
-3.5
Okay, so you have Bengals
No,
minus
I'm-
3.5.
I'm just gonna
plus
add them.
plus 100. Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna do it manually,
That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
but you know what I'm talking about? How you can do that on an Excel sheet, though, right? You know. What I'm
Yeah,
talking
I
about?
could.
Yeah,
you could do.
put in the cells
I
in
could-
equal amount.
Yeah,
I could do that, but I have to.
I'm not Excel
have to-
proficient. I just know you can do it.
Yeah, it's just it would. I don't know how I would configure this. To be honest, it'd probably take me like 20 minutes just to figure it out.
Yeah, no, you
Yo,
don't have to.
Evan, add my email to it, and I will
did.
have my buddy that like is an Excel wizard, like has certifications in fucking Excel, and
Yeah, because then all you have to
he
do
can-
is just
he can
type
spell
in
it out.
0.88.
He's licensed.
He is.
Perfect. Then all I want is whatever I have in my Excel, and I've already sent you the link to your RFMP email.
I know we can't see it because we're on YouTube.
And you can edit it.
We just got a new sub within this podcast episode.
Oh yeah,
That's great. Thank you for subbing.
Also, yeah.
Dude.
So Cal, I just realized why it's different because I have Bengals -3 at -110. That half a point is what gets it to even money, though.
The +100.
But you could, exactly. You can switch the spread.
Yeah, I could take the -3 if I wanted for a push potentially and get -110 instead of doing the half point. I mean, that's all we're doing. I mean, look, any of us can buy points too. Like we've never said that.
Yeah.
Like we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, I never did that because it's
like Big Ben's over 34.5 attempts last night was an absolute block.
Yeah.
And if we did the podcast yesterday, that would have been my bet.
Yep. But
Bills are -1200. I might actually sprinkle something on Jets money line for shits and giggles.
Dude, some of these lines right now are crazy. The Bama line. Fuck. I might be in the streets if these lines don't hit next week.
Packers and Bama, you're big on it, huh?
Yes. I haven't put any money on Bama yet, but I will.
The only thing about Bama that this is like a true betting nugget. In the college football playoff era, a team is met in the regular season and then in the championship like it was like 4 times. The team that wins the first game is 0-4 in the second game played in the championship. And Alabama beat Georgia this year.
Alabama did beat Georgia, but they smacked the shit out of Georgia. And also, look, I'm sorry, I'm not betting against Saban in a championship game.
I'm not betting against him either. That's why I bet them. But what I'm saying is that is a betting nugget.
And who? Okay, I mean, again, betting
nugget.
Right
mind's betting against Bama.
Yeah, no, but again, betting nugget. Jaguars beat the Colts 6 times in a row. The 49ers have beat the Rams 5 times in a row.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have never lost a Monday Night Football game at home.
Like, these things matter, but do they? What? I don't know. I'm interested. But yeah, those are our bets. Everyone go follow us on Twitter. Make sure to check out YouTube. Obviously, have a great new year. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Eat some sauerkraut. It's good luck.
Yeah.
I hate it. But
sauerkraut is one of the grossest things in the world. But I'm gonna.
Also, thank you, Seven.
Next week. Yeah, thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, right here.
Go
He
Steelers.
was rocking it hard last night.
He does it all the time.
Hey, fuck the Colts.
Hey, guys, we wake up in the morning. Whoa, King. Oh, I messed it up. We wake up in the morning. We say, bang, bang, burr, gang. Have a good night.